Okay, so now our fringe is on there. We are ready to take it off the loom, and we will trim the fringe last. So the first step is to take off your tape. This is Christian's. And then we're gonna pull the notches off. This is why I told y'all not to wrap it, because now you can just take these and take them off like this. You might need to bend your little notches a little bit, but and carefully pull it out. Sometimes it likes to grab them. There we go. Okay, so this is our front because it's cleaner and we have all of our messy knots on the back. And this is where we're gonna do lots of knot tying. First, I'm gonna go ahead and slide my hanger in there. So I got these little wooden dowels at the dollar store, and I just cut them in half to make them shorter. They're, I think, 12 inches, and then I cut them down to 6 inches. Okay, and you can hang it just like this and have that space, but I like to take these strings and pull them. And what that does is it pulls your warp strings through and tightens those up there. So you can kind of see it working. Pull that one. You just have to be really careful. And I think I pulled a little too much there. There we go. Now I'm gonna pull this one and you can watch it pull through. And this one. And this one. You'll be able to find the strings here because they should be loops. Okay, so now those are nice and tight, and we've got this extra string here. So we're gonna bring this down here and tie it. So I'm gonna just push it in there. I'm gonna do it one more time. This does get tricky if you don't have long enough strings. And you can always ask an adult if there's one around for some assistance, but all right, and we're gonna tie that in a knot. There we go. I'm gonna trim off that little, actually, you know what? I'm gonna tuck this one. If you have a needle, you can use a needle to do this. If you don't have a needle, one of my new favorite tools that I've been using, because I always seem to have these laying around, is a bobby pin. Let me show you how that works. You slide it on your bobby pin, and then while it's in there, just take it and tuck it under one of these strings. And then you can just pull your bobby pin off. And that just kind of secures it on the back. Okay, so now we're going to trim these loops. So snip. It's much easier when your fringe and your warp strings are not the same color. So I'm gonna put those ones up there so it doesn't get confused. And I'll start on this side. So after you snip those two pieces, you're just gonna tie them in a knot. So twist, and then do a little knot. Then move to the next set of two. Cross, push it through the hole, pull tight, and do it one more time to make a knot. Cross, push the tail through, pull, cross it again, oops, push the tail through, and pull. Next set of two, cross, push the tail through, pull, cross again, tail through the hole, pull tight. And then these two, I'm just gonna push those together and I'm gonna just tie those. There we go. And those can just hang down in your fringe if you don't mind the color. And then last thing back here before we turn it over and trim our fringe is a little hanger. So I'm just cutting a small little piece of yarn, however long you want to hang it. I'm going to put it on the edge of my little wooden dowel, and I'm going to wrap it around twice like this. And then I'm going to cross it, push the tail through, pull tight, and let's do that one more time. Cross it, push the tail through, pull tight. Just a simple little knot. So on this side, slide it under, wrap it around. Whoop. Leave yourself a long enough tail to be able to tie a good knot. So cross it, push the tail through, pull tight, cross it, push the tail through, pull tight. Now you have a little hanger. I'm going to go ahead and trim those. And since his fringe is not black, I'm going to trim, or is not red, I'm going to trim these red ones so those don't show up. All right, now we get to turn it over and trim our fringe. And your fringe, you can trim hanging. That might be easier. It's up to you, and just hold over a trash can or something, because a million little pieces go everywhere. But I'm going to trim right here like this. I'm going to do an angle here. It's like a haircut. And your fringe can have different lengths. Your fringe is almost like part of your art at this point because you can make it change your piece. I'm gonna do kind of like a V shape since we've got that shorty up there. So I'm gonna take this, trim a diagonal, there we go. And we might as well just trim some of those. If you have a pom-pom on there, we did pom-poms in school, but maybe you have a pom-pom maker at home, who knows? You can also make pom-poms with a fork. There's lots of different ways. You can look it up to find a video if you want to do pom-poms. Or the pom-pom makers that I have in class, you can find on Amazon, a pack of 4 for $8. There we go. All right, get rid of my mess. There we go, and that is how you finish your weaving. Have fun.